Good evening. When one door closes, another opens. But we often so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one that has opened for us, Alexander Graham Bell. Welcome to BMC News Live in English. I am Vinod Narayan joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. Almost 400 topics including doubling value-added tax from 5% to 10% and reforming pension funds will be discussed by legislators starting next week. Citizens and residents are urged to register for booster jabs. Expatriates seek clarity on India travel rules. Saudi Arabia announced that only fully vaccinated to receive Umrah and prayer permits. Nobel in Chemistry honors pair for new way to make molecules. News in detail. Almost 400, doubling value-added tax from 5% to 10% and reforming pension funds will be discussed by the legislators starting next week. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa has issued a royal order convening the fourth session of the fifth legislative term of the National Assembly on Sunday. Finance and National Economy Minister Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa said yesterday that such meetings are an assertion of keenness of the executive and legislative branches to continue joint action to support plans aimed at backing the national economy and repercussions of the coronavirus pandemic that has hit the world. He underlined the importance of synergized efforts to maintain economic growth and ensure the success of initiatives aimed at promoting financial stability. The minister affirmed the government's keenness on maintaining exclusion of 94 basic food commodities from VAT, along with 1,400 government services. NPRA launched new services for online visa applications. The Nationality Passports and Residence Affairs has launched e-management of visa applications through the Bahrain.bh portal. The new service is for citizens, companies and organizations, along with foreigners to get all types of entry visas. The launch of the new service is a turning point in the digital transformation. It allows applying for visas, attaching documents and tracking down the processing of the application. The applicant can also pay the fees, print the visa without the need to visit the service centers. The NPRA asserted that it moves forward in enhancing services to meet the government's digital transformation vision and provide the best services to clients. Bahrain updates COVID-19 safety measures for mosques. The Ministry of Health has updated the precautionary measures for mosques to enable worshippers to perform their prayers with ease. It is no longer required to leave one row between every two rows, reduce the distance between worshippers from 2 meters to 1 meter, allowing the provision of the Holy Quran or printed books. Reading from personal devices is recommended. Worshippers have the option to pray on their personal mats or carpets. Masks to be worn at all times. Anyone without mask will not be permitted to enter. No capacity limit. Prayers inside the mosque are restricted to only vaccinated individuals aged 12 and above. Prayers outside the mosque are allowed for all. Mosque activities are allowed. Worshippers are allowed to stay in the mosque before and after prayers to read the Quran while adhering to the precautionary measures and requirements. UK moves Bahrain, UAE, Qatar and India to COVID-19 travel amber list. The UK announced on Wednesday that it has moved Bahrain, UAE, Qatar and India to the amber list for medium risk travel, allowing travel without a hotel quarantine. All changes came into effect Sunday, 8th August at 4 a.m. Secretary of State for Transport Grant Shapps said in a tweet. Citizens and residents are urged to register for booster jabs. Citizens and residents have been urged to register for booster shots of the COVID-19 vaccine. Health Ministry Under Secretary Dr. Walid Al-Mania urged people not to get carried away by the false sense of security. We must remain committed towards achieving the desired goals so that we recover completely from the coronavirus, he said. 70 new COVID-19 cases, 1 fatality registered in Bahrain on Tuesday. Out of 13,878 COVID-19 tests carried out on 5th October, 2021, 70 new cases have been detected in Bahrain. Of these, 31 were expatriate workers, 29 were contacts of active cases, and 10 travel-related. There were 67 recoveries. There are currently 3 cases in a critical condition and 6 cases receiving treatment. 588 are stable out of a total of 591 active cases. Now we will be back after a very short break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Welcome back. Expatriates seek clarity on India travel rules. Indian expatriates in the kingdom have sought more clarity on new COVID-19 travel protocols in their home country, especially the 14-day self-observation for passengers from the Middle East. Residents from the Indian state of Kerala, in particular, have also expressed concern over rising costs as the guidelines mandate additional RT-PCR tests to be taken at one's own expenses. Visitors from the UK must also undergo a 10-day quarantine, while it is 7 days for South African, Brazilian and European passengers. Ms. Veena George, the Health Minister of Kerala, announced yesterday additional RT-PCR tests for the international passengers following new guidelines from the Union Health Ministry. The Indian Minister also announced that swab samples of passengers travelling from the Middle East to Kerala will be tested for COVID-19 mutations. Saudi Arabia announced only fully vaccinated to receive Umrah and prayer permits. Umrah and prayer permits at the Grand Mosque in Mecca is likely to only be granted to pilgrims who have completed vaccination against COVID-19, Saudi Gazette reports. According to the update announced by the Ministry of Health, those who received the first dose will not be counted as immune, and their health status on the app will change to received 1 dose. Their status will change to no proven infection if they fail to take the second dose 90 days after the first dose, and immune when they receive the second dose. Saudi Arabia allows entry to education staff from countries facing travel ban. The Ministry of Interior announced that academic faculty members and teachers of universities, colleges, schools and vocational and technical institutes from countries facing travel ban will be allowed direct entry into the kingdom. Scholarship students will also be permitted direct entry. Those unvaccinated will remain in institutional quarantine upon arrival, and they should also take their vaccine during their quarantine period. Currently, there are 10 countries that are facing travel ban: India, Pakistan, Indonesia, Egypt, Turkey, Brazil, Ethiopia, Vietnam, Afghanistan and Lebanon. UAE to launch probe targeting asteroid between Mars and Jupiter. The United Arab Emirates on Tuesday announced plans to send a probe to land on an asteroid between Mars and Jupiter to collect data on the origins of the universe, the latest project in the country's ambitious space program. A successful landing would see the UAE join an elite club of the European Union, Japan and the United States, which have completed the feat on either an asteroid or a comet. The probe would remain behind on the asteroid, transmitting back to Earth information on the composition of the asteroid as long as its batteries remain charged. The project targets 2028 launch with a landing in 2033, a 5-year journey in which the spacecraft will travel some 3.6 billion kilometers. The UAE Space Agency said it will partner with the Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics at the University of Colorado on the project. The project comes after the Emirates' successful launch of Amel of Hope probe in orbit around Mars in February. The UAE plans to send an unmanned spacecraft to the moon in 2024. The country also has set ambitious goal to build a human colony on Mars by 2117. Nobel in Chemistry honors pair for new way to make molecules. Two scientists won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry for finding an ingenious new way to build molecules that can be used to make everything from medicines to food flavorings. The work of Benjamin List of Germany and Scotland-born David W.C. Macmillan has already had a significant impact on pharmaceutical research and made chemistry greener. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences said, "Making molecules which requires linking individual atoms together in specific arrangement is a difficult and slow task. Until the beginning of the millennium, chemists had only two methods to speed up the process. The new method, known as asymmetric organocatalysis, made chemical reactions that are precise, cheap, fast, and environmentally friendly. This new toolbox is used widely today, for example, in drug discovery and in fine chemicals production." Over the coming days, prizes will also be awarded for outstanding work in the fields of literature, peace, and economics. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I'm Vinod Narayanan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.